What is up, Ali G Show fam? I am your host, Ali G, and welcome back for another track of the pod. As you all know, this podcast lives at the intersection of movement, mindset, and music, the highs, the lows, the breakthrough races, the rough training days, and the moments that remind us why we keep coming back to the start line. Whether you are listening during your run, on your commute, while strength training, just hanging out, going for a walk, I am so glad you're here for another track with us. Today's track is all about Jess Lindeman, marathoner, content creator, honestly one of the funniest and most relatable people in the running community, in my opinion. We are diving into her journey from chasing PRs later in life to absolutely crushing this year's Boston Marathon, learning to race by feel instead of staring at her watch, and finding confidence with every major start line she steps onto. We are talking Boston chaos, missing the bus exit, Heartbreak Hill redemption, race day smiles, marathon friendships made, and social media connections turning into real life community, and the unforgettable moment we randomly found each other after the Boston Marathon finish line this year. We also get into running hot takes, hydration packs, music choices that carried us through Boston, and why it's never too late to surprise yourself in this sport. So lace up, turn up the volume, smile through the suffering, and let's get into it. All right. Well, Jess, welcome to the pod. This has been a long time coming. I feel like I say that every episode, but it's true with you. I can't wait to jump into all the things that I would love to know about your Boston experience and everything in between. But for everybody that doesn't know you, I would love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and where you're from and what life looks like for you outside of running.
All right. Well, my name is Jess. I am a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a little bit older. I'm no longer in my prime, but I still feel like it. I am a preschool teacher, even though this year I am teaching kindergarten, which has been interesting. But yeah, outside of running, I'm just soccer mom, like wife, daughter, sister, cousin, like you name it, bestie. Um, but yeah, running is a big part of my life now, and then honestly, I never thought it would be. Like I never thought I would be here right now. So
I
yeah.
I love that. I love that you are here, and I think you are in your prime, given what I know you just ran in Boston. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, so being a preschool teacher slash kindergarten now, I feel like you're a saint when you're not running, because I don't know if I could ever do that. But is that what like your normal day looks like for you with training, like just
Oh
training and
yeah.
teaching and kids?
Yeah, so I usually get my training done early in the morning before everybody gets up, just so that when I come home after work, I don't have to do anything. I could veg out, but I'm also like, I don't really veg out a lot because
Yeah.
I'm running kids to soccer, I'm doing some after school events, I'm making dinner, doing laundry, spending time with my husband, and then we had just gotten two bearded dragons on top of our cat and dog. So it's like not there's no real downtime except when my head hits the pillow at night and then I do it all again the next morning.
Felt. I mean, I don't have
Yeah.
kids or two bearded dragons. And I mean, I have two dogs, but I definitely don't have two bearded dragons on top of the two dogs. What inspired you to get bearded dragons? Was that just like a kid thing, or did you guys want them? And
So it was my youngest Christmas present. He's always wanted a
okay.
bearded dragon, and I feel like he's at a point. I know 10 is an unusual time to give that kind of responsibility to someone. So he promised to take care of it, feed her, change her cage. It's a girl. And then we had gotten her name's Urshifu. He named
That's
her
so
after a
cute.
named her after a Pokemon. I mean, the 10-year-old
Yeah.
boy right there. And we fell in love with her. And we had another Beardy on the line because we didn't know if we were able to get her. And so the other place was like, hey, we're holding this other bearded dragon for you. He's 3 months. He wasn't able to be sent to us just yet because he was super small. Had to wait a little bit. And I was like, should we get him? My husband's like, yeah, he'll be mine. So I was like, all right, well, we had gotten another bearded dragon. So Urshifu
Wow.
is 7 months old, and Pancake, that's my husband's bearded dragon, is 5 months old. So it's yeah, now
Wow.
I'm like, all right, I guess we're at that point where we're not getting hot rods in our 40s and 50s. We're acquiring bearded dragons. That's our
I love
midlife
that.
crisis, right?
I love that. And you know, it's funny. Like, I think my parents, when I was like 10 years old, were like, we'll get you a dog if you do all your chores. And there was always like a thing I had to do. And then
Yeah.
like my mom just came home with the dog one day and she's like, okay, so you're going to walk him and feed him. And of course, like obviously I fell in love with the dog and
Oh
I
yeah.
loved having the responsibility. So it's kind of cool when you're like 10 and you have this responsibility. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they love that.
Oh, and
And then on your
I
husband's side, it must be just so fun being an adult and having a bearded
I
dragon. I
know.
feel like that's awesome.
They are a lot of fun to have, and they're both super cool. I think we just were like, let's just jump in head first. So now we're the reptile family on our block.
Wow. I love that. I have so many questions. It's so awesome. I love watching your stories of them like hopping all over you and I'm like,
Oh my gosh,
"Wow,
they're
you really
insane.
jumped in." Like that's
Oh yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, like we've jumped in so far that my husband had gotten harnesses from Etsy, like to take them outside. And Pancake isn't there yet. He's still really small, but Urshifu is a nut. She's very independent, loves being outdoors. Probably would run away if we just let her loose.
Yeah.
Pancake is the opposite. He's very clingy, likes to get in our neck and likes to climb in my hair when it's down. I don't know. It is
That's so fun.
they're so opposite of each other, but the boys really enjoy them and they just really fit well in our family. So
I love it. That's so cool. Wow. Okay, I don't even need to ask what an interesting fact about you is because I feel like that's a very interesting fact
yeah,
that you just jumped in head first. Two bearded dragons. That's awesome.
yeah.
Um, All right, well, let's get into it. We'll talk about running, all the things you've done and you've accomplished. But to start us off here, what or who originally got you into the running space?
So it was maybe a few years after I had my second son, and I was kind of like in a slump. I was like, I've grown up always being an athlete. I played soccer. Another interesting fact, I was a baton twirler, but that's like a whole other
That's
thing.
so fun. I mean, we
Um,
could talk about it. We could
yeah,
talk
we'll
about
talk about
anything.
it a little bit. So that was like I was just very into it. I played co-ed softball, and then after kids, I thought I was okay where I was. I wasn't really involved with any sports when my boys were really, really young. I was a stay-at-home mom at one point while my husband was a contractor, and that's what I did. I was like, well, I guess I'm putting everything before myself. And so that's how it was until I had enough. I wasn't happy with like who I became. I like kind of lost myself when I became a mom. I thought I
Hmm.
had to act and be in a certain way, and I was like, this is not me. I want to go back to feeling like myself. And so I started working out and finally getting into a routine. And within a few months, I felt like I had more energy. I lost the baby weight and I just felt more confident. And then after that, I was like, well, now what? So my husband is the one who suggested running. We were at the beach one year, and I was I wasn't able to do like my workouts, and or at least I didn't think I was able to. I was like, I need to bring my DVDs, and I can, and because I didn't go to the gym.
Hmm.
I had like the Shaun T Insanity DVD set
Oh, I
that I
used to
had
do that.
gotten. Yeah, right. And so I was like, well, this was all I needed. And he was like, why don't you just go run or go for a walk? But he said running first. So I was like, I guess I could. So I had my cross trainers. I had like knew nothing about running. I had a Fitbit that like counted my steps.
Mm-hmm.
I had like the headphones that were attached to my iPhone, and I just went running, and I probably ran like a half a mile. I ran to the ocean front because we stayed off the ocean front. We were like on the bay side. And after that, I felt really good. I was like, I bet I could run back too, because at that point I was like, I don't know if it was like that runner's high, if you get it like half a mile in. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I ran back, I just felt like I was on top of the world. I was like, where has this been all my life? I've missed this feeling, this movement, and just like it was a totally different feeling when, when you're doing like cardio or like when you're doing strength training. It's not the same. And
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the next day I had terrible shin splints. I was like hobbling, but I was like, I
No.
want to I want to keep doing this. And so I eventually incorporated it into like my, I guess, routine. I would run maybe 2 days a week, maybe like 2 miles, and then it just kind of built from there. And that was the year I signed up for my very first race, which was a half marathon. Not knowing how far it was, I was like blindly signing up because my friend was like, "Hey, I'm running the Baltimore half marathon. You should run too." I was like, yeah, okay. It was a month and a half away. And I'm like, she's like, I'll send you my training plan. It'll be great. I knew nothing about what it takes to train the right way. I thought it was just run fast and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look back now, I'm like, man, I learned so much about running, and I still do to this day. I still learn something new, whether I'm
Mm-hmm.
training or running a race. But I'll never forget how I felt. I felt so accomplished after that race. Like I did it, even though leading up to it, I was feeling totally overwhelmed because I'm like, how am I going to run 13 miles? And I just I was beside myself, and I would play with the idea, should I back out? Should I just run it? I don't know. So I was just went into it like, you know what? I'm just going to do it, and one and done. And that's what I said to myself. And then after I finished that race, I was like, well, maybe I could do one more because I really enjoyed it. So, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when it was like hook, line, and sinker, I was hooked.
Always, always. I feel like I had a similar experience. Like it wasn't my first race ever because I did like no shade, but I did like the color runs and
Oh, those are
the
fun.
yeah, they're so fun and like the tough mutters, like that was the thing. Like somebody forced me to do a tough mutter and I was like, yo, I'm literally never doing that again. And then I ended up doing like 10 of them and then
Oh
I
my gosh.
signed up for the Brooklyn half because my friends my best friend and my sister were like, we should do this together. And I was like, all right. And it was similar to you. It was like 1 month before when you could
Yeah.
actually sign up a month before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you can't do that anymore.
No.
And yeah, I just went into it and I was like, oh, I just dropped my phone. Whoops. I went into it and I was like, oh, you just have to run fast for 13 miles.
Right.
And I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was
right.
really wrong. But
Oh
you
my
get the
gosh.
bug. But you get
Yeah,
the bug because you
that's
want to
right.
do better.
You want to
Always,
keep
I mean,
going.
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
So then from there, you get bit by like the running bug. You continue to train. What was your were you like, I want to do another half? Did you backtrack and say like I want to do some smaller distances? Did you jump to the marathon? What was your plan after that?
So this was back in 2018,
Mhm.
and I think it was like maybe a week or two after the Baltimore half. They were having another half marathon like later on in the year. I was like, I'm going to do another half. And
Yeah.
so after that, I signed up for a few 10Ks and shorter distances. And then COVID hit. And I had signed up for the Naptown half marathon that Annapolis puts on or did put on. And then that year, they just made it virtual. And so I was like, well, I have this time on my hands. I'm at home. I'm going to learn more about running because at that point, I know I wasn't fueling my body right. I know running fast wasn't working for me because I did get injured.
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about shoes. And I was like, I guess since we're all home, I might as well take this time and really try to learn more about it. So after COVID, I signed up for my first marathon. And I remember I was on the couch with my husband and I was really contemplating. I was like, I really want to do this. And I had plenty of time to train. I gave myself like 8 months. And I was just like, I really want to do this. And he's like, well, then just sign up. And I remember sitting there, I was like overwhelmed by the distance. I've never ran further than 13 miles. And like, how do you even train for that? And so I signed up anyway. And then I started learning a little bit more about slow runs and easy pace versus like hard runs and intervals and all of that stuff. And but still, like, I had a long ways to go because at that point I was just like, let's just finish. And
Mhm.
I didn't even know if I would like the distance because I mean, it's crazy to think about running that far, like when you actually
Mhm.
think about it.
Yeah.
So
It's
I go in.
disgusting,
It it
actually.
it really is. Like, what is wrong with us? We are sick.
There's a lot a lot wrong with
There's
us.
something wrong. At least now, like back then, I still was sane, but I feel like now I'm just out of
It's
control.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
So I sign up for the Rehoboth, or it's actually the Coastal Delaware Marathon, and they hold it in Rehoboth Beach.
Mhm.
And that year they pushed it back. It's usually in April, and that year they held it in November. It was like mid-November. I was like, this is actually a good thing because it's going to be cold. I don't have to worry about like the heat or anything, but I took this as a learning opportunity. And I remember that day I overdressed. I wore maybe like two long sleeves and a tank top, and I was like dying by the end.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, I was like, and it was like close to like, it was like mid 30s. Like now I'm like, tank top, shorts, mid 30s, hell yeah. Like
Yeah, let's
back then,
go.
back then I was like worried about it being cold and my shoes were not the right size and just everything that I learned in that race. I'm like, I am never going to forget that. I had 3 gels.
Oh my God.
I know I did not take a lot of water. I didn't even carry any water. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, it was just like a huge learning opportunity, but I finished. And um, the best part was that my husband and my boys were there. So anytime they come to a race, that gives them the opportunity to explore wherever it is we're racing or where I'm racing.
Hmm.
And like that day, they went to Candy Kitchen, they went to breakfast, they did all the fun things with dad while mom was out there plugging away at, just trying to make it. And I remember seeing them on the side, and I felt like I was delusional at that point, just chugging along to the finish. And I just felt so proud in that moment for my kids to
Hmm.
see me and be there with me. And that's when like I realized like I did really, really well. I was like, wow, I'm like so proud of myself. And that's when my husband's like, you were like a few minutes away from qualifying for Boston. And I was like, what? Like, because they had like the
Yep.
PR bell, and I was like, what is that? Like, I knew
Yeah,
nothing.
I
So I saw
know.
people ringing it, and it said BQ PR, and I was like, what is that? And someone's like, oh, yeah, that's if you qualified your time for the Boston Marathon. And that's when we looked up, and my husband's like, you were just a few minutes away. And that's when I was like, that's going to be my next goal. And that
Yeah.
it just like went on from there.
I
So,
love that. I love
yeah.
that. So much of what you just said resonates with me, and I'm sure so many other people, because I think everybody has a moment where you like don't know what you're doing, you don't know what shoes you're wearing, you don't know how to fuel, but somehow you make it through. And
Yeah.
then you're like, wait, I kind of do want to keep doing this again. And you kind of have a moment where you're like, I think I can keep doing this again because I am close to like, whether it's a BQ or if you want to qualify, if like somebody's trying to qualify for something else, it's really, it's insane. Like the
Yeah.
way we operate and learn things
Oh,
is
yeah.
just so crazy. Is there something that like from that race specifically where you took away and you were like, whether it was the shoes specifically or the fueling, like that you took away from that and you're like, I need to change this stat
Oh, yeah.
if I want to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going?
So
What
I
was it?
did change. It was probably like I hit the wall at like mile 20, mile 21. And I was like, I was kind of hard on I'm always, or I used to be really hard on myself. Now I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I felt like I gave up. I was like, mile 21, I stopped. And then it's like, when you stop and then you go and then you stop again, it was just constant. And I'm like, when I was a younger athlete, I was always hard on myself. And I like at one point, like, during like my baton twirling days, I was called the machine because I would never give up. Even if I had to do certain tricks, I would keep going until they were all done. I'll get into that a little later, but
Yeah, yeah. You're
um,
gonna have to elaborate on that.
yeah. And so I felt like I gave up. And, after crossing that finish, I was like, if I want to continuously run through a race and not stop, I'm going to have to change things. I'm going to have to change the way I eat because I knew I was kind of holding back because I lost the baby weight, my younger self. And like growing up, I always had a really bad self image of myself. I was very self conscious.
Mhm.
Like I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, and body image was just like, and now it's back. It's like, oh my God.
I
But,
know.
well, yeah. So I was like, I knew I was holding back. And I was like, all right, I really need to learn how to eat in order to keep going. I really need to get myself a good pair of shoes in order to keep going. And
Mhm.
I, I was, all right, I got the first one out of the way. Now I'm really going to hone in on the second one. So I signed up for, it was another Delaware race. It was the Delaware Marathon. I think it's in, oh gosh, it's Williams something. I can't
Mhm.
remember the
One of
name.
those.
It was somewhere in Delaware. I signed up for it and I was so hard on myself during training. I was like, I got to nail this or else I'm not going to do well. And so
Mhm.
this race happens in spring. Never ran a spring marathon. Weather situation is different, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So once again, this time I go out super fast. And at one point, I was the leading woman for like the first 10 miles.
Wow.
And so, like, the course is like hills the first half, and then the second half, it's like flat. I remember that distinctly. And um, I remember halfway, you run back through the town before you do like an out and back. And I saw my husband, and he's like, "You're doing great." I was like, "Uh huh." Like my legs are gassed
Yeah.
at that point. And once again, I hit the wall. And after I finished, my time was a lot slower than my first marathon, and I was super devastated. I was just crushed because I was like, I really wanted to qualify for Boston. What did I do wrong?
Mhm.
And it took me a little bit of time to get over it because I was really hoping that would be it. And I was like, that was only my second marathon. Why am I being so hard on myself? And so after that, a lot of people at that time were telling me you should sign up for Philly. It is such an amazing race. It happens in mid-November, and I was like, all right, only this time I'm actually going to get an actual training plan instead of getting one from online because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, look, free
Yeah.
training plan. I can do that. And so I got Hanson's marathon handbook. I got that. I read that shit front to back, and I was
Yep.
like, okay, now I know what it means. Like, I know what fartleks are. I know what intervals to do. Like, you have to do these little sprint workouts in order to get faster. You have
Mhm.
to build up that endurance, so like long, easy runs are crucial. And going into my third marathon, I was like not nervous. I wasn't hard on myself. It felt different. Like I
Yeah.
felt like really confident this time, and I had the best time. The best time. And have you ever run Philly?
Never, but I
I
really want to do it. I
Yeah,
really,
it's
really want to do
sold
it.
out this year. It's sold out
I
already.
know. Every
Yeah.
year it's sold out. Every time I miss the boat. I have
Yeah.
to get into it
But
somehow.
it is a great race. It's like up there with like the crowds and everything, like with the majors.
Hmm.
There's a nice crowd that comes out. And I go into that race and I'm just feeling good. My husband and my kids are there at the start. I see them. I'm like feeling good. I'm on track. And then my watch dies. And now I just have to go.
No.
Yeah. So at the time,
I would die. I would
I
simply
had I
die.
had an Apple Watch. I call it a fruit watch because I didn't know. I was like, I hope my
Yeah.
Apple doesn't hear this. But it was so cold that day. My battery was charged, and I don't know, it just couldn't handle the cold, and it
Hmm.
died like a mile in. So I was like, you know, just got to go based on feel, and I felt good up until like the very end. I was just like, the finish is in sight. I crossed that finish line, and I didn't even have my watch, and I didn't even know what time, but I saw the clock, and I thought I was like 3:25, and I was like, "Yes, I qualified." I was so happy in that moment, and my husband calls me. He's like, "Did you see your results?" It was 20 minutes faster than my first marathon, and
That's
over
crazy.
I was just like over the moon. I was like, "I fucking did it." And
Yeah, you did.
I did it. And now like the pressure's off. I'm going to Boston, and yeah,
It's
I was,
unbelievable.
yeah. And one of my goals besides qualifying was to do it before I turned 40, because like I wanted to try to at least beat that qualifying time before I
Hmm.
turned 40, because then it's like I gained 5 more minutes. And I was just so surprised with myself. I was like, well, I guess that's what happens when you do everything right, you
I
know?
know. I know. And when you kind of like, it's funny, like I said, I would totally have died if my watch died. But
Yeah,
sometimes when you don't look at your watch and you literally just go based on feel, and I know it sounds cheesy, but I genuinely think that's true. Like
it's
because
true. Yeah.
I had done a marathon this year in the Boston training block, and I've been trying to beat a 3:11 for like 3 years since I
Yeah.
ran Chicago in 2023. And my friend was my one of my friends got injured, and he's like, "Do you want my bib for this race?" It was at one of my favorite towns in North Carolina. It's at the beach in Wrightsville Beach. You start
Yeah.
at the beach and you run all the way downtown, and it's completely flat. And I was like, "Well, I'm visiting my parents in Raleigh. Like, I can drive the 2 hours. I'll come to the beach because, like, twist my arm, go to the beach, hang out
Yeah,
with cool
right.
friends, like, whatever." So I bought the bib, and it was literally like 6 days before the race. And I kept saying to my mom on the way, because it was really cute. She came to the expo with me and she wanted to come watch. And she never gets to like come watch
I
because
love
I'm
that.
always, me and my sister are always like off in New York doing whatever. And my parents live in the South. And she's like, "Why are you so nervous? Like, it doesn't, like, whatever." She kept saying like it doesn't count. But like I know what she meant by that. It was such a mom thing to say, that like
Oh,
doesn't run.
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't count for anything. She's like, "You're just training, like, right? You're using it as a training run." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm using it as a training run." And I went out and I just felt good. And I did
Yeah.
not look at my watch. I even stopped to go to the bathroom. I have never stopped in a race to go to the bathroom ever. I did not look at my watch. I stopped to go to the bathroom and I hit my PR in that race. And it like I was I because I just wasn't like thinking about anything. Like everything kind of just left my head. The pressure was off, and that was it.
It really does make a difference because I feel like whenever I do look at my watch, I'm like, oh my God, how much further? What's my pace? Oh my God, my
Hmm.
heart rate is through the roof. And I feel like I didn't have any of that. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to go and just enjoy. And that was like the first time I really let loose, like during, and I smiled too. That was like another thing that I tried doing is like I was in the moment. Like I
Hmm.
know the first two races, I probably didn't smile a lot because I was more focused on what I was putting my body through rather than enjoying the sights and like cheering along with the people that I pass. You know,
Hmm.
it is a different feeling when you smile. I know it's like it's
For
cheesy to
sure.
say, but it's so true. It's
No,
so
it's
true. So
true.
now I bring that to every race that I do now. Like, I'm going to smile my ass off no matter how much it's going to be painful. I'm going to just
Hmm.
smile and, like, what is it? Andrew Glee says, smile or you're doing it wrong, right? I,
Yep.
right? So,
Every time. Every
but
time.
yeah, after that, my confidence was through the roof and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply for a major. I'm gonna apply for Chicago and see if I get in. And that was my Christmas present that year. I got in to Chicago 2023 and my husband's like, well, guess we're going to Chicago. And so he brought the kids, and that was like my first major. I always thought it would be Boston, but it was Chicago, and
Hmm.
Chicago is like it's like a different feeling there. Like Boston, it's like its own feeling, but I feel like in Chicago the crowds like they're not they don't compare to Boston. I feel like everybody, you know, because it's a holiday in Boston, it's like everyone's
Hmm.
out celebrating. You know, Chicago, it starts at like 7:30. Everyone's still like groggy and tired. I don't know, at
Yeah.
least the crowds, um, but yeah, that was my first major, and I like I loved it. You know, I loved that race. That's where I was like posing for pictures, doing my little,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
sometimes I don't know what to do with my hands. And, um, but yeah, I was like, I was surprised because you know, I did the same type of training and I ran even faster that year. I was like, you know what? I like maybe I'm not too old to do this because
Hmm.
I don't feel old. Like I'm getting faster. Like how is that possible? You'd think, you know, when you're past 40, you're like or like almost 40. I was like, you know, I thought I would be like down and out, but here I am. I'm like crushing big PRs and I'm like I feel so good doing it. So,
Hell yeah, you are.
yeah.
I so many things on that. Chicago was my first major too in 2023 actually,
All
and I
right.
feel like we had the best weather ever.
We
And
did.
like ever since then I'm like, man, I'm so excited I'm not doing Chicago. Like the last 2 years
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God I'm not doing it. Um but you're so right about the crowds. I feel like the Boston crowd is always crazy and the
Yeah.
Chicago crowd was like fine because it starts so early. And Boston,
Yeah.
everybody's like already drunk before the race even starts. So it's really
Right,
fun when
right.
you actually get to them and they're just like completely hammered and like losing their minds
Gosh.
and you're just suffering.
Yeah,
Um, you know, I love it. I love it. And
that's
that's why we
great.
keep going. I mean, it's why
That's
I keep
right.
going. I love the crowds. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And then you get to Boston and your first year doing Boston was when?
It was 2024. And that was the year a few months before Boston. That was the year that Eric and Erica reached out to me and asked me to be on the pod. And that's when they were doing their Boston weeks.
Hmm.
And I was like honored. I was like, what you want to talk to me? Like why? You don't even know me, or I don't know, like I don't know how they found me. But you know, at that time I was just like, you know, I started posting reels and just things that made me like things that I could relate to or things that I found funny about running. Um, and not only that, like I found I'm a part of this like countywide group. She runs this town, and at that time I just met two of my best running friends, Corinne and Lizzie, and that's around the same time where we all started like running races together. So my first Boston, my friend Corinne actually qualified to run too. So it was fun, like meeting up with her in Boston, and after that Boston, we all made a pact. We're like, we got to qualify together. And so we kind of like made a little pact. But Boston 2024 was very special because, my boys were there. Like, they're a little bit older now. And, if I ever do any other like huge races, like international or another major or somewhere on the West Coast, they would definitely come. And this year and last year in Boston, they stayed with my parents because of school. And my very first Boston, they came with us because our Easter break actually aligned with our Easter spring break aligned with the Boston weekend. So yeah, it was awesome because we stayed right across the street from Fenway, and we got to
Mhm.
walk down around Fenway Park, and we were right down the road from the Sitco sign. So um it was just a very like exciting time because I was like, I'm just here to have fun. Pressure's off. I don't have to qualify. I can just enjoy every step. And
Yeah,
that's what I did.
I
And
love
it was
it.
like, yeah, it was incredible. So,
That's so fun. Okay, so then you qualify again and you're like, I have to go back.
yeah.
Right? Or was there any moment where you're like, I don't want to do this again?
I enjoyed it so much. And my husband, last year was our first year ever away from the kids by ourselves. And
Mm,
it was really special. Like that's I think every year at Boston is special,
yeah.
but last year it was just me and him, and we got to like actually tour the city together, spend some time together. I met a lot more people from social media last year.
Hmm.
And the hotel we were staying at, we met a nice couple who their names are Monty and Michael. Michael he's the runner, and Monty's like is like the spectator, like my husband.
Hmm.
And we met them last year, and we met up with them again this year. I was like, well, now we have to go back to every Boston because of Michael and
Yep.
Monty will be
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
It's like your friends are gonna be there, and it's like I want to be there too, and you know what
I
I mean.
know, I
So
know. It's the best weekend. Like
yeah,
I just had one of my best friends from childhood. She texted me. I mean, we talk all the time, obviously. We're still best friends, but she texted me and she's like, "I really, really, really want to come to Boston." I was like, "Yo, you should come to
do
Boston." So
it.
we just like crammed in our hotel room. There were like
Yes.
six of us in there.
Oh
And
my
I'm like, this is
gosh.
just the best vibe ever. There's just something about Boston that's so like
Yeah.
outside of the race too, it's just such a good weekend. I
It
could not
really it
agree
really
more.
is, and we had the best weather. The best weather
Mhm.
this year. In
Mhm.
2024, that was when it was so hot.
Yeah, I
Uh,
died pretty much.
oh my gosh. I died on heartbreak that year. Like
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
fine with walking because I just remember it being sweltering, and I saw a lot of people passing out from the heat, and I was like, I
Mhm.
do not want to pass out. Like that's happened to me before, and it sucks because it's like I can't. I've worked so hard to be here. I need to be
Mhm.
safe, and so that's what I did. And then when I went back, I was like, all right, I my goal is to run up heartbreak without stopping, and I did. That was I was like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Um, and then this year I wanted to break a 320 because the hills always got me. Like,
Me too.
and now I felt like, okay, I know where the hills are. I can plan it. Like, I could take my gels at this mile and just anticipate the hills before the big one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was what was different this year. It's like I knew the course.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been like Boston is probably my most consecutive race just
Me
because
too. Me
yeah, right?
too.
I love going
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I just enjoy the vibes and my husband's like, I want to keep going with you cuz I enjoy it too, and maybe when if the kids ever want to come or if spring break ever aligns with Boston again, they're more than welcome to come, but
That's
they
so
got to work
fun.
on school. Got to work on school
I
kids.
know. I know. My mom always used to say that to me too. She's
Yeah.
like, you cannot stay out of school that long.
No.
No, you and your husband are so cute. I can't remember if it was 2024 that I met you guys when we went to Sam Adams, or if that was last year. I
I think that
cannot
was last
remember.
year
Was it
cuz
last
he
year?
yes, cuz the year before that we had the boys and it's like when like they're older. But even when you're like walking in a city, you could hear the groans like, "Ugh, how
Hmm.
much longer?
Yeah.
Are we almost
Yeah.
there? I'm hungry." Like, it's nice. I love them, but it's nice to just go. Like, I forgot what it felt like to just go and do stuff without
Yeah.
planning ahead, you know what I mean? So it was last year, and that's when, I got to meet Tara, and I got to meet Jared. I think Jared was
Yeah,
there.
Jared was there.
You
The
were
whole crew was
there.
there.
Yeah,
I feel like the majority of us were there. That was so fun.
yeah, that was a
So
lot of
fun.
fun. Yeah,
See, this is why Boston is the best.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
meets up in Boston.
yeah. That's right. And then this year was, um, it was so awesome. Can we talk about that moment at the finish when
Yo,
I saw you? That was so awesome.
it
I
was
loved it.
crazy.
I
It was
loved
the
that.
highlight of the race for me. No joke.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I want to hear your perspective because like I remember seeing you at the base. I think it was the base of Heartbreak, and we
Hmm.
were like somewhere around there, and like I had like I was like running on the side because I mean, I'm sure you've heard I missed the handoff with Erica, so I missed the Coca Cola. So
Oh
I was
yeah.
like
I saw
waiting.
you. Yeah, you dropped it, right?
Yes, and
Did
I
you
was like
drop it?
waiting on the sideline. I not waiting, but I was running on like the right side of the road at this point, going up Heartbreak because I was like, oh my god, I hope some stranger has something. And this lady was holding out a Coke, and I'm not really again, like I don't really know if it was for me, but like I legitimately grabbed it out of her hand, and I was like, can I have this? Thank you. And just kept running. And then but like, when you get so jazzed up, because like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody had something. I just like sped up a little bit. And when I sped up, you were on my left. But I am like a firm believer in like you were so in your element. There was not a single chance I was gonna say anything to you, but I just knew it was you. And then I had slowed down from like my little Coca-Cola high,
Yeah.
and you kept going, and I just kept telling myself like just like make it to Jess, make it to Jess, make it to Jess. And
Yeah.
I literally like followed you up Heartbreak Hill, even though you had no idea.
No,
And then I
I
saw
was
you at the
so in
finish
the
line.
zone.
It was crazy.
It
It
was
was crazy.
crazy. I
It was
think.
so fun.
Oh, and then so the bus this year.
Yeah.
So this year was super special because Lizzie and Corinne, my two best friends, and I, we finally like qualified. We're all going to Boston. And so I meet them at Boston Common and got on the bus and we're just like hoping to get there. We're stressed out about the buses. It's like, it's such a hectic
Yeah.
morning to get there, and
Hmm.
so we're on the bus and we're like, all right, we're gonna get there now. And so we're on the Beltway, freeway, whatever way it was. And I see the exit. I see all the buses going off this exit. Our bus is in the middle lane. And I'm like, why aren't we merging right to get to the exit?
Yeah.
And I see the exit and there it goes. And I'm like, well, maybe they're going a different way. Maybe that way is congested. I don't know. So there's like a divide in the bus. There's the front of the bus who hear what's happening over the walkie or over the radio, and there's the back of the bus, which I was at, and everybody on the back of the bus was freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
we missed our exit. What are we gonna do? And it must have been 30 minutes at this point. We went off course 30 minutes and
Oh my God.
finally we nominated this nice gentleman in the back to go up front and be like, hey, you missed the turn, like we got to turn around. So he's like, okay, I'll get to the next exit. So we're thinking, okay, he's going to roundabout and get back on the freeway beltway and head back. No, this guy decides to take the back roads all the way back to Hopkinton.
Oh my
So
God.
we're like stressing, and it's like 9 o'clock, and I know we have like an hour and a half, and
Hmm.
I'm like, we're gonna get there. I'm trying to calm my friend Lizzie down. I'm like, we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there, and then two girls had to get off the bus to go to the bathroom, and the bus driver pulls over, and we're all like, what are you doing? We all gotta go. We're trying to hold
What?
it. Everybody was flipping their lid. It's like, and these poor girls, like, I get it. You have to go, but so do the rest of us.
I
Like, hold
know.
it.
I know. I
Common
was gonna say,
courtesy
like, isn't
here.
that, don't you just hold it?
Unless it's a code
Like,
brown, then I totally get it. But it was
fair,
number one.
fair.
And the reason I know that is because not only did everybody see her right off the bus with no coverage, she did it in somebody's front yard. And there's a landscaping crew right next door who was trying to back out, but the bus was blocking their, like, it's.
Oh my God.
But I look, you got to I know, I get it.
I
You
mean, I
got
get
to
it. I get it. You
I
gotta
get
go when
it.
you gotta
But
go.
also, it's like, and then we take the back roads, and sure enough, we hit a police block and or like a barricade. They're blocking off the roads, and we're like, "Well, don't you see? Like the bus has the sign. We're from Boston. We got to get to Hopkinton." So the
Insane.
barricade, like they like, all right, they let us through. And then we hit another blocked road, and they're like, nope, you got to go around. And so we had to drive like where all the corrals were. We got dropped off there and had to backtrack to Athletes Village.
No way.
Yeah, so we
Oh
pretty
my
much
God.
walked from the corrals to Athletes Village to go to the bathroom and then walk back and got in the corrals.
That's
It was
insane.
But we made it with like maybe 10 minutes to spare. Like by the
That's
time we got
crazy.
there, used the porta potties, walked back, got in our car out, it was time to go. So
Wow.
it's like,
I should not complain about my bus experience. I was just really late, but I did not have all those stops. That is insane.
yeah, and I think it's like, it's just a part of the journey. Like I knew we were gonna
Hmm.
get there, like
Of
because at
course.
that time you can start whenever, even though you have like your bib
Yeah.
color,
Yeah.
your wave, you can start whenever as long as you're not in the yellow trying to start with the red crew.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, that was our little bus thing, and then I think just the feeling of I gotta start running or else I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like just that all the adrenaline from the morning kind of fueled my run, I
Mhm.
guess, so to speak. And because I was flying, like,
Yeah, you were
yeah,
flying.
I was like, if I had rockets on my feet, that's how it felt. And I wasn't going to hold back because of how good I felt. And I took
Yeah.
everything in. I still remember a lot of everything. And then um, I do remember it was towards the end. I think it was maybe like 3 miles to go. And I start having, like, I could feel I had chafe going on. And I'm
Mhm.
like, man, I just need to make it. I just got to
Yeah.
make it there. So I don't want to stop because I knew if I'd stopped, then it would be hard to start back up, you know? But
Hmm.
after I crossed and I checked myself out, I was bleeding. It was like, oh, this is
No.
the worst chafe of my life. But I didn't even feel it at that point because I was just so full of like adrenaline and I was just so happy to be at the finish. And then I see you, I'm like, "Ally!" And then that epic like hug. I was just like, that is like
It
the
was,
best, like frame by frame. You could like scroll through and see
mhm,
like our
the
hug. It
action
was
shot.
so cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was
But
so cool. That was
yeah.
so fun. Truly a highlight of the day for me. That was
Yeah.
insane. And you crushed it. You
You did too.
absolutely
My
crushed it.
God.
Yo, a PR in Boston is insane.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And I was,
insane.
oh my gosh. And like and I was like thinking about it. I was like, I really like this training block just felt different than the rest in terms of like we had shitty weather, like
Yep.
with the ice storms and everything, and just
Mhm.
I wasn't like I really didn't train on a lot of hills this time. Like last year and the year before, we usually run this one hill that's like reminiscent of the Boston hills, and I didn't do a lot of hill training, so I wasn't expecting much. And then like after that I was just like whoa, like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like just
It's
still
kind of
can't
like
believe
you're in
it.
disbelief. I know. It's like I feel
Like
like
kind of
every
like
year.
imposter syndrome, like should I
Yes.
be like this
Yes.
fast? Like it just
It's
doesn't make
crazy.
sense. But
It's crazy. It's like every year I feel like Boston gets the tiniest bit better and stronger. And I
yeah.
just feel like that's kind of what makes me want to go back every year is that there's always something with the course that I'm thinking about that I'm like, "Oh, I could do that better." And it's and I don't mean that in a way of like, "Oh, I have to do it better." It's just like a personal thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, you know what? Like similar to you, the first year I ran, I had a walk-up heartbreak. I was a little bitter about it. I still did amazing for like the weather and given the year we had in 2024. And then
Yeah.
2025, I was like, no way. I broke 320 on the Boston course because I had such a bad year the year before. And then this year I was like, oh wow, I just ran 5 minutes faster than last year. And there's just
Yeah.
always something that like I want to work toward on the course because it is so difficult and it just I don't
Yeah.
know. I just always leave in disbelief truly. And I was in the most
Yeah.
pain I've ever been in after Boston in my life.
Oh my God.
Last this year. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh
man.
no."
You know what? But it's worth it because pain is temporary.
So true. And it
Yeah.
just you were I we were working hard out
Yeah,
there.
we were. Yeah.
That's what it means, you know? I love it. I love that. I love reliving that with you. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm
That
so
was
glad
so cool.
do you know Dan Foley, the one who gave me my medal? The guy who gave me my medal?
No,
I don't know if
wait.
you've ever gotten connected with him through the pod
Yeah.
fam.
Was he
Yeah,
flying
he
pig?
was yeah, Skinny Pig. He was
Yes,
the one who
skinny
gave me
pig,
my
skinny pig.
medal,
Yes, yes, yes.
and he texted me and he's like, "I can't believe I got to witness that between you and your friend." I was like, "Jess?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We didn't plan that. It just happened. Like
Yeah, we did
it
not
just
plan
happened
that
that
at
way."
all.
So
Yeah.
it was just a crazy day. How are you? Or I mean, I'm sure you're fully recovered because I've seen all your fun runs. How are you feeling now? Are you feeling strong going back into whatever you have coming up
Oh,
next?
it's like after a cycle and you try to get back into that feeling like that, you want to go back to that good place. But you're not
I
yet,
know.
and that's okay. And you know what? Summer's coming up, and the weather's getting warmer, and it's gonna be humid, and it's probably gonna be an awful summer with the weather. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's fine because it happens every year. But right now, I'm just like, I'm fully recovered. I'm building up that strength again. Like
Mhm.
my youngest, Andy, when like they going into soccer and everything, he's like he has a goal of getting stronger. So lately, you know, 10 minutes a night tops. Like we'll like go down in the basement and we'll do like I'll show him some like strength training moves and we'll do it together. And
So nice.
we've been doing that, and just, I love my Saturday morning runs early in the morning, just getting it done. And yeah, but I'm not starting training until the end of June. I signed up for a Marine Corps marathon in October.
Yes. Have you
Yeah,
run that one before?
no.
Oh, you're
And
gonna love it.
it's really become popular. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? It's literally in my backyard and like 40 minutes away, but
I
I'm
mean, that's like
excited
in the
to run that.
backyard.
It's kind
That's
of
close.
kind of ish, but and then I saw something on Instagram, like iFit's giving away bibs for Sydney, and I was like, "Well, I'm shooting my shot here."
I mean, you
So
should shoot your
yeah,
shot.
shoot your shot. So we'll see about that, but I
I
mean,
mean, that would be so fun if you got picked. Didn't you wait, did you run with you did something with shocks, right? For Boston, or am I
so
making that up?
they reached out to me as part of their chasing stars program, which is they find runners who want to share their stories about running. And and I love shocks.
Me too.
I you know what, I
Ugh,
love them.
so good.
I try anybody who doesn't have shocks, I'm always trying to convince them to get a pair. So they reached out to me, I think 2 weeks before Boston. And I was just kind of like, it was in my like junk mail. So I was like going through my junk mail to see if I missed anything. And I found this email from them. I'm like, why is this in my junk mail? So, but yeah, they were, unfortunately, I was not able to make it to their shakeout run, which is
Mm,
fine. But my friend Mike Bridges, Mike runs marathons.
yep. I
Or
just talked
yeah,
to Mike literally 2 hours ago.
you did. I
I
love
did.
him.
I
I love
did.
him. We've gotten close because while I was in Boston, I was like, I'm not going to be able to make the shakeout run because I'm meeting my friends Lizzie and Corinne, and we're doing our own run. And I was like, is there any way you could pick up my shocks like gifts? And he's
Mhm.
like, yeah. So we were literally texting like all day that day trying to meet up. And he like had his wife and his baby with him. And I was like trying to meet up with him, and like just meeting him in person. He's such a lovely guy. And
Mhm.
um yeah, so like I got to connect with him, and then I saw him again at the airport. So but yeah, wonderful, top-notch guy. He was also in the Chasing Stars program. So
Mhm.
that was really nice of him to, and I was like, I owe you. If you're ever in Baltimore with the missus and the baby, I will babysit for you and you guys can go have a night on the town. But I was like, I owe you big. So
That's so cool. I love
mhm.
it. All right, so hopefully you'll get into Sydney with
We'll
iFit.
see.
iFit, we're
That'd be
looking at you.
cool.
We
I
like to
fit.
manifest on the pod. I'm
Yes, we
manifesting
do. I like
you.
to manifest a lot of
I,
things.
I manifest everything pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask our friend Jared. He manifested like a huge PR on this podcast, and then I was like, "You're gonna get it," and he got it like 2 weeks later. It was crazy.
He's a beast, man.
He is such a beast.
He's like crushing. Like every time I look
Mhm.
like at his story, I'm like, gosh, he is outrunning again. I want to be like that. Like
Yeah, same.
crazy.
I aspire to be like Jared for real.
Yes. Yeah, for real.
All right. Well, as we wrap up here, do you have any advice for runners? Maybe somebody who feels like they started running too late, like you were saying before, or what's something that you wish you knew, or you would tell somebody when they first start running?
It's it's never too late.
Hmm.
Honestly. I feel like I'm living that, and I feel like a lot of runners my age are living that. It's not too late to start. And if you feel like you're going to die during a run, smile. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
puts you in a better mood.
It really does. It really does. So,
I love that. Do you want to give a running hot take for the pod?
oh
Do you have any
man.
running hot takes? You don't have to. It's just something I do for everybody, and I give them the option if they want to do a hot take or not.
Um, a running hot take. Like something that's overrated, underrated? Let's
Overrated,
see.
underrated, could be controversial, whatever comes to your mind.
You know what? Hot take. Here we go. I I always carry my hydro pack, whether it's a long run, a short run. It's like my purse. And if I need to go, I just run out into the woods and go.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I
I mean,
mean,
you know what? You got to do it.
I gotta
I've
do
done
it.
it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, don't be like the girl that ran off the bus and like do it like where everybody can see you.
On somebody's lawn too.
Yeah, don't do it on somebody's lawn.
Yeah.
Go out into the
Just
woods. Go out
yeah.
into the woods and do it there. Do it where the animals do it.
That's the best way to do it. My cousin and my sister and I always joke because when we go to the Cape for for some part of the summer, we
Hmm.
always run on the like rail trail that's like I think it's over a marathon distance. It's like 30 miles and it connects all the towns. And when everybody gets back from their runs, we'll all be like, "So, where'd you pee today?"
Right,
like
right.
we'll all like name the spots because it's just like you're like literally in the middle of the woods. It's a paved path, but nobody can
Nice.
see you.
Nobody can see you.
Just go where nobody can see you.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, I like that. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Nobody's ever said that before.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, lastly, another question for you, as if I haven't been asking you questions the whole time. Do you have a song that you want to add to the LIG show playlist?
Let's see. Oh my gosh. My playlist is, I'd say it is like a mishmash of everything, really.
Same.
I really have to think about this. Okay. A song that I went into Boston listening to. It's I'd say like what, maybe 10 years old? I don't know. Iggy Azalea's Fancy.
Oh, that's so good. I haven't thought about that song in a minute.
Right? Yeah,
That's a
like
good
I don't know what
one.
made me think of it. I think it's because I heard it like on Spotify. I was like, it was just like a mix, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this song. There you go. So I
That's
added
a
that
good
to my
one.
marathon playlist. And yeah, I think I remember running. Where was I? I think I was running up Heartbreak when I heard that song. So
Oh, it's so good.
it's a good
Do you have
one.
any other were there any other moments like that during Boston where you were like, "Oh, I remember this song playing," or just like any specific moments that you can remember?
Um, let's see. I think it was I'd say the last mile I had, oh, what's her name? Charlie X something.
XCX?
Yes, I had her. Um, it was like, oh, I don't know the song. I can't remember it now. It's like, um, I can't remember it, but it was definitely her. It was like
It's
the I
one of
don't
the
I'm a
songs from
terrible
Brat,
singer.
I'm sure.
I'm not gonna subject you to my singing because it's terrible. My kids can tell you that,
I love
but yeah.
it. I love it. All right, well, lastly, oh my god, my dog just came in. Hey, girl.
Oh,
Lastly, where can people follow along with your running journey? If you want to share your
yeah.
Instagram anywhere, feel free.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, runner underscore Jess with four S's, and same on TikTok, runner underscore Jess with four S's. So
Love it. You should
yeah,
all follow Jess because she's funny as hell,
thank
and
you.
I love following you.
Thank
And you'll
you.
see the bearded
Likewise.
dragons.
Yeah,
So
you'll see the beardies and um yeah, Father's Day is coming up and I have to think of the coolest sign to put on the door to the Beardy's room because our guest room is now their room. So I was thinking of
funny.
like Dragon's Lair or House of Dragons. I don't know, something.
It's got
fun.
to be something, yeah, something fun. I'm confident you'll come up with it.
Oh
You're
yeah.
funny.
Thanks.
Well, Jess, thanks for coming on the pod. This has been the best time ever.
Yeah.
I hope when you get into Sydney that you'll come back on the pod. Uh, because I'm yeah, like I
We're
said, I'm
manifesting.
obsessed. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We
Yeah.
are manifesting. But no, you're the best, and thank you for getting me up Heartbreak Hill, and thank you for sharing your story with the Ali G Show listeners.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was
Oh
great.
yeah, anytime. Of course, of course. I will talk to you in like 5 seconds, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Ali G Show fam, that's a wrap on today's track. Huge shout out and thank you to Jess for coming on the pod, sharing her story, and reminding us that running isn't just about pace or finish times. It's really about this community and the confidence and joy you bring to it, and continuing to surprise yourself no matter where you are in your journey. If there's one thing you take from today's episode, it's never too late to start to chase something big, your goals, or to find a new version of yourself through movement. If you loved today's track, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the pod with a friend or training partner. It truly helps the Ali G Show grow and keeps this amazing community connected. You can follow Jess on Instagram at runner_Jess for marathon content, hilarious running reels, Boston stories, updates, all the running chaos we know and love. I will link everything for you below, and follow the Ali G Show on Instagram at _Ali G Show for updates and new tracks. And as always, keep moving with purpose. I will catch you all on the next track of the Ali G Show. Bye.